Hey guys, welcome back to Dirt's Daily. And before we get into all of our wonderful San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that we're going to be reviewing, I wanted to take a quick look at this MattyCollector.com 2-pack, DC Universe Classics, Alexander Luthor, and Ultraman. Now, Mattel's line of 6-inch figures is based on the extensive universe of DC Comics characters, and it's been one of the fastest growing and highly praised toy lines to appear on shelves in years. Originally, it was their answer to the Marvel Legends line, but DC Universe Classics digs really deep into the vault of ideas at DC Comics, and it features obscure heroes and villains that otherwise don't make it into toy lines. Now, as part of that movement to bring forgotten characters back into the spotlight, Mattel's own website, MattyCollector.com, features this incredible 2-pack ripped right out of the pages of 1985's Crisis on Infinite Earths miniseries. Now, finally the world can have the Earth-3 versions of Alexander Luthor, the evil Clark Kent, known as Ultraman. All of Mattel's DC Universe toys come in distinctive orange packaging, and MattyCollector.com packs the product box inside a plain white box for the sake of shipping. Opening the plain white box reveals the familiar color scheme that fans of DC Universe Classics, Infinite Heroes, and Justice League Unlimited have come to know and love. The figures are suspended in a plastic shell inside a window box, appearing to be frozen in the middle of a fight. The box is titled The Battle for Earth-3, the designation from Crisis on Infinite Earths of the Earth ruled by the evil crime syndicate of America. The back of the box shows full-body photos of the figures, along with biographies, for those who are not all that familiar with the original comic story. Removing the figures from the package is pretty easy with only a few clear plastic bands holding the figures within the clear shell. You don't have 20 minutes of fighting with twist ties with these guys. Both figures have the standard 20-plus points of articulation that allow for an incredibly high degree of posability. The only issues really resolve around the hanging cloth elements on both figures. Ultraman has a long plastic cape sculpted out of rigid plastic that keeps it in place when posed, but is not flexible enough to allow for much bending or any sort of folding. You won't be able to set him on a chair unless allowances for the cape are made. Alexander Luthor has a tunic over his midsection made of the same rigid plastic. This makes it difficult at times to twist and bend his midsection as far as the articulation allows, but it's still not enough to cause any sort of major problems for most collectors. Now, Ultraman's costume is a variation of the classic Superman costume that everybody knows here on Earth. Whereas Superman's costume looks more like an assembly of different clothing pieces, Ultraman's suit evokes a more regal and stately design reflecting his ego. His suit is a full body blue with red boots, cape, and cuffs, and a U symbol on his chest. Legendary sculptors Four Horsemen Studios have taken one liberty with the design of Ultraman, specifically the U symbol. In the comics, the U was always part of the shirt that Ultraman wore. It's just like how Superman's S is a symbol on his chest. For this piece, though, the U is a physical object attached to the collar. Now, otherwise, the sculpt is deadly accurate, including his incredibly ugly face, twisted by years of rage. Alexander Luthor is the hero of Earth-3 and husband to that world's Lois Lane. In his Crisis-inspired battle armor, unlike the evil Lex Luthor we are familiar with, who often rampages in green battle armor, this Luthor wears a suit of the same red, blue, yellow color scheme as our familiar Superman. His helmet is not removable, which is a small disappointment, though if it was, it would probably alter the look of his head significantly. But all the small details of the character have made the transition to toy form. There's a weave pattern on the L on his chest, and there are hairs in his goatee. The Four Horsemen have really outdone themselves on this character. It's somewhat of a shame that this is a MattyCollector.com exclusive, because plenty of people who might otherwise pass on the set would easily plunk down the cash once they saw him in the stores. The initial stock of figures sold out quickly, but Mattel ordered a second shipment, which is now available for pre-order, although it might be sold out by the time you finally get around to watching this video. Fans of DC Universe Classics should certainly make sure they get their hands on this 2-pack.